Beyond the Boundary begins by showing a high school boy named Hiromi Nase who is saving a girl from a monster attack. After a fairly fierce fight, he could finally make the monster cornered. But when he was careless, the monster suddenly attacked him. Luckily, his older sister, Izumi Nase, arrives just in time and saves him. Izumi, who has an extraordinary fighting ability, can easily defeat the monster. Hiromi and Izumi are children of the Nase family who are known to have supernatural abilities that allow them to see and defeat various magical creatures. The Nase family has taken on the responsibility of being knights of the spirit world to protect humanity from the influence of Youmu or demons for many years. Youmu itself is a term commonly used to describe a ghost or demon created from various dark emotions or negative human emotions such as hatred, anger, revenge, jealousy, and malice. As long as the dark emotions of humans are still present, Youmu will still appear as a demon in various forms. Hiromi often feels like a burden in the Nase family because his ability to fight is still very low. Since childhood, Izumi was known as a gifted child and had left her family to have supernatural powers that made her worthy. This often becomes a shadow for Hiromi, who keeps comparing himself to his sister. That's why Hiromi wanted to train hard so that he could become stronger. But to be able to gain power is not easy because it requires a very long process. 3 years ago, Hiromi was given a task by his family to investigate and find a young man named Kanbara Akihito. Akihito is a half-human Youmu who is known as a half-demon. Akihito is immortal because of the combination of the human and demon soul. The demon spirit in his body allows him to regenerate quickly so that he can easily recover from any injuries. But he can still feel the pain from every wound. Every time he has a very serious wound, the Youmu soul in his body will awaken and he will transform into a demon from inside his body. In this form, he will become very uncontrollable and can create very devastating destruction. Hiromi has a younger sister named Mitsuki Nase who often follows him everywhere. That day, after 3 years of searching for Akihito, he was finally able to find him. Mitsuki, knowing this, wants to accompany Hiromi. But Hiromi forbids her because the mission can be very dangerous, considering Akihito is a half-human Youmu. However, Mitsuki still insisted. They arrive at a hill at the top of the mountain, and there is a wooden house where probably Akihito lives there. They rush to go there. On the way, Mitsuki finds cursed blooded pills that were thrown by someone. Hiromi, who arrived first at Akihito's house, attacked Akihito until he turned into a crystal stone. The crystal stone was a trick that was deliberately prepared by Akihito so that he could escape from those who were hunting him. The crystal stone itself usually appears in the form of a demon that has been defeated. It is valuable enough that many people hunt for a half-demon like Akihito. Hiromi, who realized that the crystal stone was fake, caught Akihito. After that, Hiromi and Mitsuki try to persuade Akihito to go with them, because Hiromi's mission at that time was to find Akihito so the Nase family could protect him. However, Akihito, who is tired of his eternal life, allows himself to be the target of criminals and does not want the Nase family's protection. During the debate, a Youmu power appeared and attacked them. Hiromi, Mitsuki, and Akihito avoid Yomu's attack. It turned out that the attack came from a man named Miroku Fujima who was targeting Akihito. Although they had run as far as possible, Fujima could still catch up, so they had no other choice but to fight him. Akihito made a magical wall to protect the three of them, but the wall of protection that he created was destroyed by Fujima. So when Fujima was about to attack Hiromi, Akihito used his body to block the attack. As a result, he was seriously injured by the attack. In the middle of the fight, Izumi suddenly appears and helps them to defeat Fujima. Meanwhile, Akihito, who is in pain, begins to transform into a very dangerous and uncontrollable Youmu. Hiromi tries to fight and awaken Akihito so he can return to being an ordinary human, but Akihito's power is too powerful. One attack by Akihito can make Hiromi thrown and injured. In times of crisis, two girls named Ayaka Shindo and Shizuku Ninomiya appear and help the Nase family to control Akihito. But again, Akihito's Youmu power is hard to beat. Mitsuki, who remembered the cursed blooded capsule she had gotten before, realized that it was the only way to defeat Akihito. She quickly threw the capsule at Akihito's body, which could weaken the Youmu in Akihito's body and turn him into a human. After that, Akihito finally agreed to go with Hiromi and accepted the protection of the Nase family. After the dangerous incident yesterday, Hiromi promised to become stronger so he could protect them all. After all, Akihito wanted to be killed by Hiromi because he gave up on being immortal. That day when Akihito was about to come home from school, he accidentally saw a girl with glasses standing alone on the school roof. He thought she wanted to end her life. He immediately climbed onto the roof and prevented her from doing so. Akihito tried to persuade her by saying that he really likes the girl because the girl with glasses is his type. Those words annoyed the girl and she immediately stabbed Akihito's body using a sword from her blood. It turns out that the girl has supernatural powers to manipulate the cursed blood in her body into a weapon. The bespectacled girl named Mirai Kuriyama seems to have known that Akihito is an immortal human. This year Mirai goes to the same school as Akihito and becomes a junior student for Akihito. Mirai admits that she can become a knight of the spirit world, but she has never killed Youmu at all due to her past trauma. Ever since the meeting between Mirai and Akihito that day, Mirai had always tried to stab Akihito with her sword as an exercise to kill Youmu. A few days later, Mitsuki met Akihito when they had lunch together in the school cafeteria. In the conversation, Mitsuki said that Hiromi and Izumi already knew about the closeness between him and Mirai. Hearing this, on the way home from school, Akihito met Mirai and said that at this time he was asked to avoid her. However, Akihito, who feels sympathy for Mirai, who is always bullied and ostracized by her friends, decides to stay beside her. He starts accompanying her for lunch at the park every day. He also supports and encourages Mirai so she can kill Youmu, who is in her apartment. That night, Mirai finally plucked up the courage to kill the Youmu. It was so agile that she was starting to run out of strength. She thought about giving up and decided not to kill that Youmu, but Akihito, who accompanied her that night, tried to convince her that she could defeat it. Hearing this, Mirai got up and ran after the Youmu. She then took off the ring that was used to seal the cursed blood inside her body so she could use it to kill the Youmu. After she defeated the Youmu, Mirai was finally able to get a crystal stone. After the tiring battle, she collapsed in Akihito's arms. The next morning, Akihito went to Ayaka's crystal stone shop. Ayaka is also a demon like Akihito and has a subordinate named Aishindo. She told Akihito that soon there would be a powerful demon who would target him. She warned Akihito not to fight the demon alone because it was very dangerous. After earning money from selling the crystal stone, Mirai invited Akihito to have lunch together. There, Mirai recounted her past that had made her feel very traumatized to kill Youmu. When she was still a child, she had killed Youmu in the form of a shadow demon that was lodged in the body of a little girl named Yui, the biological child of the parents that raised Mirai. When Mirai tries to defeat the Youmu, she accidentally kills Yui too, but a part of the Yomu's soul once survived and escaped. This traumatized moment made Mirai promise to find the Youmu and get revenge for Yui's death. Sometime later, Mirai finally managed to find the Youmu. She struggled with all her might to defeat the shadow demon. But in the middle of the fight, she was suddenly attacked by a girl named Sakura Inami. Sakura is Yui's younger sister and she deliberately attacks Mirai to take revenge for Yui's death. Mirai had difficulty dealing with the shadow demon. Fortunately, at a critical moment, Akihito appeared and took Mirai to run. But they are already trapped in the illusion created by the shadow demon. In the illusion world, Mirai had seen Yui's form and had made her more motivated to defeat the Youmu. The Youmu entered Akihito's body and tried to control him. It made Mirai scared because she didn't want her past trauma to repeat again. Seeing this, Akihito tried to persuade Mirai to stab him with her cursed blood. And then, the shadow demon could be defeated even though Akihito had to be seriously injured. Akihito's condition makes his Youmu soul rise again. That's why Hiromi, Ayaka, and Ninomiya created a protective wall to withstand Akihito's power. After all, his strength was so great that the damage caused by it was quite severe. Even everyone who tried to contain Akihito's power was also seriously injured. Mirai, who is still surviving from Akihito's power, decides to hug and comfort him. Luckily, that method can make Akihito back to normal. A few days later, Mirai and Akihito received information that there was a Youmu in the form of a fruit lodged on the school's roof and the Yomu's price was quite high. It made Mirai excited to hunt down the Youmu. But it turns out that Yomu's strength is large enough, so she can't defeat it alone. In the end, Mirai invited her other friends to help her defeat the Youmu. One day when Akihito comes home from school, he sees Sakura facing Youmu alone. But Sakura began to lose strength until she finally fainted. Akihito took her to his apartment for treatment. Sakura is not a knight of the spirit world but an ordinary human who can kill Youmu with a homemade weapon. Her weapon can devour Yomu's energy and will become stronger if she kills more Youmu. She intends to achieve her late older sister's, which is becoming a knight of the spirit world. The next day after Sakura recovered, she transferred to the same school as Mirai. Mirai then invites Sakura to fight so they can solve their problems in the past. But Mirai, who is a knight of the spirit world, can easily defeat Sakura in that battle. She can even save Sakura, who was almost killed by Youmu. After the fight, Sakura was finally able to forgive Mirai, and they became friends. A few days passed. Akihito and the others received news that the fateful calm days would soon arrive. This is the day when all Youmu or demi-Youmu will be at their weakest. When the fateful day of tranquility arrives, Akihito, who is half Youmu half human, also weakens. At midnight, the Spirit World Knights took this opportunity to kill as many Youmu as possible and harvest as many crystal stones as possible. At the same time, Fujima is targeting Akihito again, who is currently being treated at Ayaka's house. Ayaka tried to restrain and fight Fujima by changing her form to Youmu. Izumi also coincidentally comes to Ayaka's house to help her defeat Fujima. During the fight, there was an explosion sound not far from that place. The sound came from Akihito, who had turned into a Youmu known as Kyokai no Kanata. His transformation into the Youmu form was caused by Izumi deliberately weakening the human soul of Akihito. Akihito, who was aware that his strength was being drastically weakened, decided to run away. Mirai and the others were looking for Akihito everywhere. In that search, Izumi asks Mirai to kill Akihito because Akihito will lose his immortal power on the fateful night of tranquility. Hearing this, Mirai felt very worried because she had fallen in love with Akihito. Hiromi is suspicious of Izumi, who insists on killing Akihito, so he tried to find out the reason why his sister did that. When he was in the Nase family's library, he suddenly met Fujima, who was trying to steal a crystal stone from the Shadow Demon. Then when Fujima held the stone, he quickly ran away from that place. The scene changes back to Mirai, who has managed to find Akihito. She attacked Akihito and tried to kill his Youmu. However, Mirai, who had fallen in love with Akihito, could not kill him, so she chose to sacrifice herself by using her cursed blood to separate the Youmu from Akihito's body and then eliminate it. The consequence of that decision is that she will also disappear with the Youmu. Now Akihito can live like a normal human being because he can't live forever since Mirai disappeared. But the thing that happened was that Mirai was still alive and was trapped in the spirit world. In the spirit world, she must defeat Kyokai no Kanata, who became Youmu in Akihito's body before. Kyokai no Kanata then absorbs power from other Youmu such as Ayaka and the Spirit World Knights. Akihito rushed to the spirit world by using a crystal stone from Kyokai no Kanata's fragments. After he enters the spirit world, he can meet Mirai again. They fight together to defeat Kyokai no Kanata. After going through a long battle, they found the core body of Kyokai no Kanata and destroyed the core body. After it is destroyed, they have to deal with various Youmu originating from negative human emotions. Fortunately, Ayaka and Ai also came to help them defeat the hundreds of Youmu. The battle of Akihito and the others against hundreds of Youmu was very epic. In the end, he managed to eliminate Yomu's manifestation that came from his own emotions. After the Yomu's emotion disappeared, Mirai faded and vanished along with the emotion. Akihito had to face a very painful separation because he had to lose the person he loved so much. This anime teaches us to be able to fight all the negative emotions that exist within us, such as hatred, anger, revenge, and envy, that can hurt ourselves, not the people we hate.